Most contractors are wasting their Facebook ad budget. And in this video, I wanted to walk through 4 things that I really think will help bring down the amount you're spending on ads and to ultimately acquire customers so that you can get customers through the door a lot faster and for much cheaper than what you're normally spending. So let me go ahead and get straight into this. So the first thing I want to hit on is cheap leads don't convert. The goal should be, how do I get more qualified leads? Okay. A lot of the contractors and small business owners, and honestly myself when I first started, just prioritized for CPL, cost per lead. But that doesn't tell you everything you need to know. For example, when I started a campaign in the early days of my company, I was getting about $15 CPL. The funny thing though is all of those leads, about 90% of them were very low quality leads. But once we switched to focusing on higher end customers and we started about 50, 60, 70 and up to $80 cost per lead, we actually started making much more money as a company versus the lower end campaign. So always just prioritize qualified leads. And so how you do this is you don't use basic forms. You need to make them answer in-depth questions that actually qualify them before they even have a chance to book into your calendar. Because I know a lot of contractors have to deal with basically tire kickers that fill out your form and they say they want a quote, or you try to give them a quote and they kind of ghost you, and it's just this like headache and chaos. So this is definitely priority number one. Don't worry about cost per lead as much. At some level, of course, do worry about it, but not as much as you think. Focus on getting qualified leads through the door consistently. The second thing, the thank you page should book you calls. So don't say we'll be in touch. I see this a lot when contractors or small businesses, they set up a campaign. Somebody fills out the form and it just takes them to a generic landing page and it says, thank you, we'll be in touch. You should not do that. You're leaving so much money on the table. You should immediately drive them to a phone call. And on this page, the way I would structure it is have like a video at the top that maybe introduces yourself, what you guys do, talks a little bit about your past experience, shows off a little bit of your work, and shows that you're legit, and then drive them to book a call with you. And ultimately, what you can do on the call is sort of decide if they're a good lead to actually even send a quote to, because you don't want to waste your time building out all these quotes for people and sending them out to a bunch of tire kickers. You want real people come through your door that you can actually nurture very well and not get distracted by all the other people that aren't true buyers. So drive them to a landing page that's very compelling, has testimonials, has your work, offers an opportunity for them to book a phone call with you, and then on that phone call you can qualify them before you even send the quote. The next thing, this is huge, speed to lead. So you need to be responding within 1 to 2 minutes, and to do this you really need some sort of automation, some sort of CRM, something of that sort, right? Because when you think about this, when a lead fills out your form, they're doing it when they are free, right? They're doing it when they're at lunch, they're just kind of relaxing, scrolling, or they're on their couch at home at night. And so you need to meet them there, because if they filled the form, let's say during lunch, and you follow up 2-3 hours later with a phone call, then they're busy now. Probably they're in the work day, they're not going to respond to you, they're not going to respond to your text, and they'll just probably forget about it. But if you can respond to them within 1 to 2 minutes and get a scheduled time for when they're actually free, this is how you get deals. This is honestly where the money is at, in my opinion. I actually saw a stat recently. If you want to increase your conversions, that is a terrible arrow, by 400%. Sorry guys, I'm like butchering that. If you want to, let me redo that. If you want to increase your conversions by 400%, you need to call your leads within 2 minutes. 400%. So you can get a 4x on your lead conversions if you can call them within I think it's like 2 or 3 minutes. And we rolled that out for our company, and I'm telling you, it is a game changer, because leads do fill it out when they're most comfortable, and you call them and you call them again, they pick up. And like, oh yeah, I did just fill that out. Yeah, sure, I wouldn't mind hopping on a call. And then you schedule them for a 15-minute call, exactly what we do. And then on there, you can quote them. And you can schedule additional calls if they need that. But I'm telling you, this is one of the best ways. It's awesome. So definitely roll this out. If you need to hire somebody to call the leads when they come in, I would do it. The fourth thing, this is big. Ads work better when you have the back end built. This has been the biggest frustration that I think a lot of contractors and small business owners are running into, is they don't have the back end built out first, nor do they have an online presence. So I'll first start with the back end. So they don't have their tracking in place. So this is no. They don't have their pipelines in place. They don't have follow-ups. They don't have a landing page, and they don't have pre-sale content to actually excite the lead, right? So let's just say like you're a bathroom remodeler. You could be sending people pre-sale content that excites them about like what's the like what if they do work with you, what could their bathroom look like? And you can send them pictures of other jobs you've done and make them excited and make them want to do this. But a lot of times contractors just want to run ads and then just kind of call them willy-nilly and hope they come in. But if you can hone in your tracking and your pipelines and your follow-ups and your landing pages, it will help tremendously with your conversions. And then the next thing I want to just briefly mention is a lot of times the your online presence isn't supporting the ads, because the thing about it is when they watch your ads, okay, what they're going to do is typically search up your business online, right? They're going to look it up on Google. They're going to look up on Facebook. So what you need to have in place is you need a website, you need a Facebook page, and of course, you need a Google business profile with 5-star reviews. Because this right here shows, hey, I am a legit business owner. I'm a man of my words. I get jobs done on time. And this right here is the biggest thing probably. Because people go right to Google, they look up Tom's Remodeling. And if they can't find you, but they saw your ad, they're just not, it's going to absolutely drive down your conversions. So these are the big 3 things that I would have done before ever considering running ads. And then of course you need to have like your backend set up through some sort of like CRM. Oh, okay, we'll CRM like that. Sorry, guys. And then that will tremendously help with your conversions. So I hope all 4 of these things make sense. In brief summary, we'll run through it. The first thing is cheap leads don't convert. So don't focus for lower cost per lead, focus for high qualified leads. The second thing is make sure your thank you page is ready to actually book people into your calendar. The third thing is speed to lead. You need some sort of CRM and immediately be calling them, have the automations in place. And then the fourth thing is going to be that back-end structure. So you need to have the tracking down, the pipelines down, the follow-ups down, and of course you need to have your business looking legit online. If you do all 4 of these things, you will crush with your ads. And by the way, guys, we do help contractors set all of this up for their business. So if you're interested in getting support with setting up like a CRM account to get your tracking in place, get your follow-ups in place, your pipelines built out, we take care of all that for you. Feel free to go down in the description and just reach out to our team. You can book a quick 15-minute call and we'll see if we're a good fit for you. But other than that, thanks so much for hopping on the video, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.